Okay, everybody, it says we are live, and I do believe that we are live. So, Trina, it says we're live, and
I
so we
think we
are.
might be.
So it's so good to see everyone. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining us on the journey. There is a word,
I was going to say that's another appropriate Freudian
Yeah.
slipway, and that's
Yeah, I mean,
another great one.
it's right there, and it's like,
Yeah,
this is no shit. This is cool stuff.
we
So.
are on a journey for sure.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, as
Oh,
I was telling you yesterday on the program, that I got so many emails on it. Just kind of really blew a lot of people away, Trina, in the aspect that, we are, as you and I were just talking, we have such a limited view of spirituality. It's so earthbound.
yes.
Maybe
Yep.
that's because the only thing I guess that they allowed us to remember. But we'll get into this. The whole idea that probably the vast majority of us, this is probably our only time through this planet. No doubt we have been on many others, and yet there are many more yet to come. We're going to take the essence of what we learned here in our next destination, because I think that that's how propagation works of spirituality from one planet to the other. Don't know, but anyway, favor to everyone. Bosto, happy birthday. And we are prospering. The Soul Tribe is prospering. I am prospering. My wife, Lynn, is prospering. And we thank the angels. We thank Poyel and Ariel for their talents and their gifts upon us in helping this journey to be a little, how shall we say, more comfortable. So, Miss Trina, how are you? This is a second look. We thank everyone, all the moderators, and we love all of you. And Miss Trina, how have you been, girl?
I've been good. It seems like there's like a wave of gnosis trying to hit the planet, and it feels like there's been like a portal that's opened, and it was so interesting. I was woke at 3:00 in the morning. I think it was day before yesterday. And I walked out and I looked at the moon, and there was the biggest halo. I've seen halos around the moon before, but this thing was ginormous. It was huge, and it looked like a portal because you could see black skies behind it and then different colored skies all around it. It was just magnificent. It was like confirmation. We've entered into a change of some type, and I can feel it. And I feel like things have opened. It feels like we've merged into the fourth dimension. Like we're merging into the fourth dimension. Mm-hmm.
My experience with the moon and the halo around it, it was, and we'll go way back to 1972. And in Bel Air, Texas, a suburb of Houston. Anyway, I was tripping pretty good on some window pane, and there was a full moon, and it had a halo around it. But as I began to concentrate on the moon, the next thing I know, I was out of my body. So every time I see a halo around the moon, it draws me back to that. And I agree with you. It is, in fact, a portal. I mean,
I think
no doubt about it.
Yeah, I do think so. I was like staring at that going, that is a portal. I know it. And I just knew it. And it was the same thing. I started to connect with the moon, and I felt myself literally pulling straight out of my body. I was like, whoa, hold the phone. I'm not ready to go there right now. But it was very, I knew. It was like, this was a powerful portal. Powerful.
It is. I think that the more we begin to realize, there has to be, the show yesterday was really one of those that really broke a lot of paradigms. So the fact that when you begin to realize that Earth is not isolated, it is not alone. There is, as much as we know that there is this magnetic draw to every planet, every galaxy, every system out there, the same holds true in the spiritual realm. And it's a shame, because I think in so much of what we have failed to understand because of religion, it's not that anyone's anti-religion, it's just that you have to admit the wrong, the bad, the good. And in this case, it's been a lot of bad. And what we've been trained on is to thinking that everything that we connect to in the spirit realm is some spooky ether realm, when we don't realize that it is as physical as this realm. It has its rules, it has its laws, but the difference is that we're connected to every other living thing in this galaxy, which is huge. It's beyond our comprehension. And I just, as I said to people yesterday, and you and I were just talking, the vast majority of us, when you get into reincarnations, incarnation that means to become a part of that which is there. So that's where you're reincarnated back into the earth. I don't think that that's the case anymore, only because of the ignorance. The teaching is that everyone, if you go according to the Hindu, the Buddha, the more of the Eastern religions, is that this is a progressive step in the ascension level. I don't think that it's that way at all. I disagree, and I challenge anyone to come and argue this. Is the fact that I see it, Trina. If you're just reincarnating here on Earth, then you are one-dimensional. Mm-hmm. You cannot have a grasp of what the other spirits are if you are so earthly bound in this. And I think many of us long to be away from this realm, because we sense that there is, and we study the angels, the demons, they're all part of that.
Yes.
What say you?
I see this system, meaning our entire solar system, and this universe, because it's one word, universe, one word, basically one verse. It's just one thing out of the multitude of expressions for creation. This is polarity. This is the black and white. It's the third dimensional realm. This is a place where you come in, I think, to be ultimately challenged of your own. We come in here to save. We come in here because we're called. There's many reasons we're brought into this realm. Like I said, the really dense earthly humans, they're just part of the system. I think right now the higher beings are on this planet, in this realm, to help this planet lift its vibration. And like I said, there's going to be a splitting of the worlds, and one's going to go one way, one's going to go the other. And I think that's why many of us are here, was to go through this splitting of an energy field. So it's coming back down to frequency. What you can receive and express is what you're going to perceive and be in this reality. But I think it's a cage. If you forget who you are when you get in here, you can just become part of the battery for the source. So I think that this is a very, very, very serious labyrinth, and it's in your own mind. And this is a mind cage, and it gets you trapped in your own loops, your own guilt, your own crap. So the thing is here is it's a battle for consciousness. And the battle of consciousness is really game on in the third dimension. And I think in the fourth dimension, it's going to be stronger. It's going to be worse. And you're still going to have a physical body to contend with that can be harmed. So you need to know how to fight. You need to know how to battle. So, but fifth, I think once you get to the fifth, you're in a better position, but there's still polarity there. I see the duality going all the way up to the eighth, and that's the infinity. And once you can get past the infinity, then you get to 9, which is completion, which is the gates to the eternal. Completely different light, completely different creations due to the function of the light and no more polarity. So this system is so big, it's so huge, it's so hard to wrap in your brain. So I think 90% of our own ignorance and our own trap is thinking that Earth is all that is, and Earth, we're just human. And it's like, no, this is so big. We can't even, it's hard to wrap your brain around.
Well, I look at number one, I see the fourth dimension as time. I think we're already in that. I think that there has been a misunderstanding that we are not just in the third dimension. We're in the first, we're in the second, we're in the third, and we're in the fourth. So I think so much of the mysticism today, the new age thinking, is off base, because if you're continually focused in and saying that we're in the third dimension of this density, then you don't understand dimensions. And I did a whole study on it. I told everyone what the first dimension was, what the second. We are seeing the manifestation of the third, but we are definitely connected to the fourth. Otherwise, time would not exist.
Yeah, that's the tesseract, and that's the
So
hypercube. Yeah.
So I kind of see it that way. The other thing, when we think of the universe, we're seeing it merely from our perspective. I have a sense that man's consciousness, the collective consciousness, is in for a collective shock. If we can survive the coming cataclysm, then it's really going to be interesting to see what happens, because again, we take the Carl Sagan approach that it's the little blue marble, that we think that this is the all in all. All the religions teach that this is the center of the universe. All religions say that this is where God makes his place. But that is absolute insanity to say, then if that's the case, then we ought to just go and blow our brains out, because all you're going to do is just going to be right back here again with the same demiurge that's saying that it is a jealous and vengeful God. This is where you and I were talking about this. And so let's get right into it. This whole crap about Jesus. I don't believe in the Christos message, because if the Christos message is what it is, and I studied the Bible for nearly 50 years, I can tell you it is a proverbial deceptional lie. You cannot have love come from a creature that is about hate and then suddenly declare itself that it's now all about love.
Yes.
I mean, and so I reject this Jesus Christ in the message, because I don't know what message is it saying. It's telling me it's a savior. Well, then wait a minute. You're part of the problem. Why would I want you to come and save to me? And don't talk to me about love, because everything I have seen from your kinfolk say just the opposite. They kill humans. There's that movie they did with Redford. They kill horses. And, you know, I'm really worked up on this, Trina, because if we're going to get free of this, then I don't, otherwise what you're saying is that this enslavement is universal.
It might be. Yeah.
I can't accept that. And everyone's welcome to their own view. I cannot accept that. It is too vast. It is too beyond our comprehension.
Well, universe is just our verse. There's multiverse. So yeah, just within this construct, I see that, not other ones, just this one. Yeah. This is the one I see. So outside of this, that's why I said, though, I think if we can't get past the 8th, which is the infinity loop, you're still infinite. You're still looping in the finite systems. You've got to get to the 9, which is completion, to get to the eternal realms. There, that's where you have all the notions of heaven. That's where all that stuff comes from in our cellular memory. It's from our original home planet in the invisible light spectrums of the eternal realms, not the finite realms. Very different is what I'm seeing. There are 2 different kinds of light.
It's interesting, because I think most people struggle with this whole concept of a greater reality beyond this one, the concept. And yesterday, you see, I don't believe in heaven or hell. I can't believe that the universe is limited to a place called heaven, because it's much like the Matrix, when Neo was talking to the architect. And the architect Neo was complaining, you know, about how the Matrix basically rules these people. And he says, but you don't understand, Neo. He says, we created a perfect world for you, not once, not twice. He says, every time we created a perfect world for humans, you self-destructed.
But every single time we've been influenced by draconians and reptilians.
Well, then that says, you know, that implies an invasion.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I think happened. Yeah. I really do. Really seriously do. Yeah. I think that's why a lot of us are here. This. Yeah. Cause we get now to try to get this back. And I do. I think this is a battle for Earth right now. I think this is so much bigger than people can conceptualize. This is a battle for Earth and soul. Because I think the feeders are finally going to get kicked off. I mean, and that's the bifurcation. That's what I saw, the splitting. One will still exist with it, but one won't. And that gives a new birth of a new Earth without those lower level energy sucking demonic frequencies being to such an extreme. They'll still be present in a very level, balanced way, because it has to in a polarity system, but it's completely different from what it is now. Because right now it's been just a feeding ground on Earth for thousands of years.
I did a video, and I did a couple Steiger perspectives on the sectarum. I can't remember the origin. And it was about the meeting that Eisenhower had outside Los Angeles, where we call the testing grounds. Anyway, the delegation that met with the extraterrestrials, and the one that eventually ended up going to the Vatican, talking even with the Pope. And it was interesting because according to that intelligence, that being, they don't see God like we do.
No,
they don't see the whole slave master mentality.
Nope. And they don't see it as a guy on a throne. They don't see it any like that at all.
They called it a contamination of our species.
Absolutely, because it's a false idol worship system. It's a false idol worship system, and it's ridiculous, but we don't understand it because it's all we've ever known.
Thank you, Gaia. You're absolutely right, hon. Edwards Air Force Base. Yes, absolutely. Hi, by the way, all of you.
Hi.
Gaia and Paul.
Love you guys.
Gaia Monia. Giacomonia. That's I love that. Had a chance to actually talk with Guy and Paul over the weekend. Enjoyed it so much. Brandy, good to see you. Emperor Rex. Ignore the drag. I don't know what that means. Let's see. David Castle, Skies Above. I saw a lot of people. Mary Wins, Grandpa Brian.
Hi, everyone.
And here, thank you for being a part of this. And this is, and Nina the Mystic is right. We're going to have a discussion on it. I want to get Jenny. I want to get some new faces on here as well, because this is a discussion that we really need to have, because it affects the whole world. We're under this, and I called it the God spell. My book that I'm writing, it's titled Humanity, Spiritual Orphans, because we don't know who or what creator is, source. We don't know who or what God is. We don't know who or not what we are.
Right.
We're spiritual orphans, and we're so desperate to find our place in this, which tells me that where this planet is concerned, much like Yellow Rose of Texas said a number of years on her videos, there was an invasion. Now, her point of view was that it was repelled. I don't think so. I think we fell victim to this species that has taken the name of the Elohim. They're a conquering species. That's what they do. They subjugate every planet they come to. And some say that this is the trap that we're in. I mean, we talk about angels. I love what Lucky Stone said. He, in his comment yesterday, he wants to know, all right, angels, so who is it that you serve? If you serve this Hebrew God, we got a problem here. Because that means that your species is at war with us. You kill us. You murder us. And so how would you want to help us? And then we're taught, well, the demons, they're the evil ones. But yet, as I have put out there, Trina, so many times, throughout my biblical studies, I could never find where Lucifer ever harmed one human hair on a person.
I know you're right. When you said that, I was like, wow, Wayne, that's profound. And I think that's true. But like I said, there's so many different spins of Lucifer. And, it's so, and basically when you look at it, it means light bearer. It means Venus. And then when you look at time is father time, which is Chronos, which is Saturn. These are entities of energy that focus light into this holographic reality, I think. So like those are the above part of our below part of our chakra systems. So these are all frequency cages, and they can empower you as well too. So I mean, they can work for you or against you, but they will definitely work against you if you don't know how they operate within you. So this is where we're stuck.
And we stop right there because,
yeah.
here's a thing that gets me. I see so many people saying, well, you're supposed to reach your higher chakra, but wait a minute. And then they always downplay the kundalini of the lower chakra. But here's the problem. I've seen more pain, more damage done from the upper chakra than I've ever seen from the lower chakra.
Yes.
In fact, I can say this, that the lower chakra at least brings a momentary relief.
Yes. But yeah, that's why I'm saying you have to have them operating at full function and balance. And the primary focused chakra that you always want to be ruling is heart. Heart. The heart is where you want to go because that's where your power is. Mental is monkey mind. It's a processor. It's fire, but it's also fire of God, which to me is consciousness, the ability to be inspired, fire of God. So, but you got to process the fire of God through the root chakra to anchor that energy and then bring it and process it through the heart. So the heart knows how to magnetize it and send it forth and then draw it back into you as reality. So this is what we're learning. We have to learn how to control our energy because if in the fourth dimension, which I'm pretty sure we are in that, like you're saying,
in time.
I really do think that, but I think we're in a different layer of it now, a bigger level of it. So things are going to start getting stronger in dreams, astral travel, intuition, deja vu. These things are going to start having a stronger presence because the energy is higher. It's just different. So this is a frequency war. We got to remember this. This is going to be ultimately about the power of your mental and then the power of the magnetics, which is the heart. And this is where why you see the most damage can come from the head, because if you don't process that fire from God, it's going to burn you up for real. It will burn you up.
But you see, there you use that word God again. I don't know what construct we're
consciousness. God to me is consciousness. It's the ability for things to have a living presence. And
so let me just challenge you on that. So yesterday I brought up, do you really think the creator of this universe is that interested in the individual on this planet, which is, when you look at it, wouldn't even be a quirk in the quantum scale? Do you really believe that?
I do believe it's so big. It really doesn't. Yeah. Like I said,
because you're talking potentially trillions and trillions and trillions of lives out there in the universe.
But bigger than that. So yeah, remember when I told you I would try to get the concept of the God thing, this consciousness, this light thing. And remember I told you the closer I got to it, the more indifferent it became.
You see, that's very excellent. That's a perfect word, because indifference would be, to me,
to all of it. It didn't give a shit. It didn't give a shit. It didn't know how to. It just didn't give a shit. I was like, it's just everything.
And as I pointed out, if you call it creator, well, the thing about it is that creator is not it's not static. It's dynamic.
It's living. It's a living
because creator continues to create.
Yes.
Which then implies, well, now wait a minute. If it's still creating, then you're telling, you see, and I don't doubt any of this, because my mind is limited to this construct.
Right.
I feel sometimes like that mind.
Right.
I want out, but I can touch the ether, but damn it, I can't, but anyway.
So it's perfect. You're like, what? Well,
yeah, it's like, man, what the hell, but
right. So we're stuck in our own cube, our own box of thought. And that's the key. Expand. We've got to circle the square, Wayne. We've got to get bigger than the cube. We got to get bigger than the fourth dimension.
Man. We got to get beyond the tetrahedrogram.
That's exactly it. That's bingo.
That goddamn thing is a trap. You get into the tetrahedrogram, you're not getting your freaking self out unless someone helps you.
Yes.
This is one of these conversations that,
it's
at some point in time, you just get fed up with it. You're going, I'm tired of this.
And that's why it is. We've got to get more into this the heart, because the heart, it makes you feel better, first of all, because this construct with our brain right now, wow, it's so heavy. So the heart, that will save you. It will save you. It really will. So take all that fire in the mind and just anchor it into your root, into the earth, into your deepest closest to the earth chakra and start filtering that through the body, and then let it process through the heart and then go back up into the mind so it can straighten everything out. Because we have so much information coming in right now. We need to definitely grab what we're meant to, and we're all vibrating at different frequencies. So this light is coming in, this information, pull it into the body, process it, and then send it right back out. Don't hold anything right now. Just be an antenna, process this energy, and it'll help straighten you out. Because I think most of us right now, we feel like we're going to explode. There's just so much information, so much fire in the mind. It's so much. It's an overload. It's somehow we've got to settle it down and anchor it into the earth. So I keep hearing this. It's like, get into the heart and get into the root. Like you said, the brain. We got to get out of the head a little bit right now and get into the lower centers, because we need to bring heaven to earth. That's how it's done. Fire of God,
and whatever heaven may be
in
your interpretation.
Yeah, to me it's a vibration of higher frequency. So heaven is higher, devil is denser. It's simple. It's simple. Heaven is higher. Ahaya, A's, H's, those vowels, those sounds, those are to higher vibrations. And then you go down to the different ones are different sounds, different frequencies. So but you got to vibe high, but you can't vibe high unless you're balanced. So we got to balance our fire.
Why does this keep coming up? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of look at it, in the aspect of when you think about this, I when I meditate, a lot of times I am on a, it's like I'm on a large board and I'm supposed to be playing this game, but I have no idea what the game is. And I think that that's where I see humanity. We have become so convinced that if it isn't the Abrahamic religions, then it's the Hindus. And if it's not the Hindus, then it's the Buddhists or the Taoists. And these are the ways in which you can begin to ascend into the higher realms. Okay. The problem is with that, that's new. Mm-hmm. If you think that humanity is at least 100,000 years, at least sapiens, then all these religions are nothing more than made up manuscripts. Totally. They call them manuscripts, but they're manuscripts.
Yes. Yes.
And we write our own program. Now, what I sense is that we're being manipulated to do this. The one thing I've learned about the occult is that if you want to channel, humans do that really well. We all channel.
Yeah.
And so we're now under these manuscripts that again seem to have trapped us and led us to the brink of oblivion once again. Are we what happened before? Was there just a small select remnant that woke up to this and said, screw this, we're not going to have any more of this? Are we the ones who really do move on to the next planets and we tell the others, don't go there?
You know what's so weird?
I don't know.
You mentioned Yellow Rose of Texas, and on her, I just watched a video of hers and she was talking about being in stasis again, that we were in stasis. And she said that we were in a coma, many of us, and we were needing to wake up, that we still weren't waking up. And there were many people around us waiting to see if we would wake up, but many of us weren't waking up. And she said, think about it consciously and connect to your incorruptible body and ping the monitors. Ping the monitors with brainwave activity. Send that message to the incorruptible body. Remember, Wayne, I kept telling you, I keep seeing this other body and that we're hooked up to the system somehow and we're sleeping. Lots of people are starting to say this now. So what if that is one of the keys to this, is to tap into our incorruptible body? See, that would be of a different light. The incorruptible could not be in a duality system. It could not be in polarity. It would have to be in a higher vibrational or dimensional existence. So the incorruptible body, where is this and how do we connect to it and ping the shit out of it?
I don't know where that would be. I mean, Lilith says that, all of us are up in the upper realms, that none of us actually exist here. We have a part of our essence. But what's real interesting is that, in the New Testament, the promise that Jesus brings is that you will be recycled back into your body here on earth.
Yeah, that sounds like a trap.
Oh, no. What? This is where I go, Marcia Price, this is for you, honey. Not only no, but hell no.
Right.
No to the hell no. I mean, and this is what freaks you, and listen, I lived for that. That was the eternal promise, is that I was going to be born again. I was going to raise from the dead. I would have my new body.
I know. That's, the Lord said, beware of the Jesus trap. And I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, but no, Wayne, I think you're right. I really do. I think you are right. So yeah, that is probably a bad option.
It is, and it just sucks. And and listen, I'm much like Lucky Stone in his comment yesterday. All right, so who and what are these beings? I do believe they exist. I'm absolutely seeing the glitch on the monitor there. I don't know what that was about, but this is getting interesting because we're going to continue. I finished this book, and it's interesting because it kind of gets back to the whole Star Wars things. Is there dueling opposing forces,
Yes, and Darth Vader, Luke, I'm your father. Yeah. Oh shit.
They're intertwined.
For real.
They
yes.
Can't, when one jives, the other moves, and it's kind of like doing the hokey pokey, you put one foot in, you take the right foot. Why? Because you're all doing the dance.
Yes.
And that's why I named the show today. Lynn told me last night, she said, honey, I dreamt that I was flying.
Right on, Lynn.
And I said, honey. And she said, I haven't dreamt this, she said, in 40 plus. It's been a very long time.
Yeah. Wow.
And I told her, congratulations, girl. That's a real breakthrough on that.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
So it tells me, because it really is like going through detox.
Yeah.
And that's that. And it's painful. I wish I could say it in another way, that this just comes so serendipitously that, it's like, Merrily, life is but a dream. Yeah, it may be, but you know what? It's got some real serious parts. And this is what I'm seeing, because it comes down to the thing about where death is. And Big Al, I'm thinking of you, brother, and your good friend Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy passed away, I think, right when we came on and were speaking to him. So I'm just interpreting that he received that energy as a boost and as a mode of protection as he went on.
That's right.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that happen. But sorry, I got it. When that moment comes for us, that's where you really find out the aspects of where you stand. Are you really at peace with yourself, or is this mentality? We've talked about this before, and Lynn has seen it so often. There are those who accept death with grace, smile. The transition is a peaceful one.
Yeah.
Then you have those spirits, those people who fight it. They're yeah, they are. They are absolutely terrified with fear.
Yeah.
And it gets me to thinking all the time, what's the difference then? I mean,
the difference I've seen is one believes only in their earthly existence, and the other believes in spirit. They believe in God, whatever. They have a higher belief system, whatever that is. They're still anchored to that higher, the hope of heaven, whatever that is. It's the belief system. But the other ones, I think they were so just going through the motions, just asleep.
So let me ask you something for myself now. And Lynn and I have talked about this. I don't believe in the construct of heaven. I don't believe in the construct of hell. What I do believe is that when I emerge out of this body, I'm going to be in the vastness of creation itself. Now,
Yeah, it was just beautiful, Wayne, because you're not getting stuck in the lower astral realms of creation based upon your own false beliefs of false idol worship in your own mind. So I said those are the keys to freedom, because you understand there is no heaven, there is no hell. It's just part of this holographic reality. It's an illusion, but it's an illusion to snare and hold and keep your energy locked into these systems.
Rennie reminded me that the visions I was on last summer, it really hit very hard. But in the one travel that I took, and in fact I wrote it down. It's on a show. You can go there. I spoke about how I saw the earth, but the earth was this. It was this intake valve, and for myself, I remember, and I'm just repeating this, but it bears repeating because I remember myself traveling, and you're basically how you're a cocoon within yourself, but there were other beings that were with me that had pulled away from this huge intake that was the earth plane. And we got out into a place where there was nothing. Okay. And I kept seeing there were a lot of us, but as we went further into the vastness, more and more of these spirits fell back. And it got really cold. I remember being really cold. And then and there were several others that with me, we arrived on this platform. And in this platform, there were these gates that we were standing. Holy fuck, I can see it right now. It's just, it's amazing. And there was these beings. I mean, there is no size, but there is size. And their energy was intimidating.
Yes.
And they led us up to this gate. And suddenly, that's all you could see was just the gate. You couldn't, I tried to look back. There was nothing behind us. And I remember the being said, all those who step through, there shall be no return. Mm-hmm. And I stepped through. Everybody else stayed on the platform. Mm-hmm. Oh, the gate was slammed. There was nothing behind me. And this is where it gets really weird, because the next thing I knew, I was pushing. The only thing I can say, it was like a membrane. Mm-hmm. And the rest of it, y'all have to go back on. But yeah.
Wow. See, that's
still remember that.
But how to get through the membrane? Because that will get you out of the cell.
Yeah. That's where I was at.
That's the last layer. You went through the cytoplasm. You broke out of the nucleus. You got to the cytoplasm, and you were at the membrane, getting out of the cell. That's wow.
I just remember with that gate. I mean, literally, I was standing on a platform. I mean, when I say a platform, it's much like you would expect in Grand Central Station. It was a platform.
I've seen those. I used to meet the Lord on the platform, and it was a crystalline platform. It was made of crystal. It was literally crystalline.
Yeah. And these beings, I mean, and it's so weird because the perspective changes so quickly, because the next thing, I mean, it was just the gate.
That's a gatekeeper and to the membrane. And wow.
Now, I don't know if these other beings, these other spirit beings, they were people. I don't know if they went through or not. I did. And instantly there was no more gate there. It was gone. I mean, I looked behind me and there was nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now that I'm remembering this, which was compelling me to go forward.
Yes.
Yeah. Weird.
Yes. That's it. See, and that's brave. That's brave. That's how I said, it's like, the leap of faith. They're like, once you leave, you can't go back. You're like, I'm going. That's because you have faith in yourself. You're like, I'm going. That's what I mean.
I do remember that. It's like,
Wayne, when I cut myself out of that serpent, when I had that vision about that, that was because I was like, I am out of here. I was determined. I was like, nothing will stop me. And I was like, I will break through every gate because I have one mission and one mission only. And that is to return to myself.
Mm.
I'm going to find me because I know there's more than one, and I'm going to find them, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to do. But I know that that's how I get out, is find self. I just have a feeling. And that's when I had the dream of the cutting myself out of the serpent. I was like, I got to cut loose all of this religion stuff here, and I got to get bigger, because if I want to go to where I'm from, it's not this place. And even, in the Bible, it says, this is not my Father's house. I know this is not my house. So no, I know. So like, with that,
whose house is it?
Well, it's not a good one. We came here to clean up house, but it's not a good one right now. It's a mess. So
James Bright says, I keep having a dream where I'm in a submarine and keep climbing out and up through a hatch. I wonder if it has to do with that's interesting, James. There's a lot of interpretation on that one. I could see it seems like you're trying to free yourself up out of there. Hello, Ryder. How you doing, brother?
Hi, Ryder.
Love to see him. He's just so with Nina this weekend. Good.
I know, it was good.
It was good. And these are the type of conversations that many other people are now experiencing, what I would call enhanced dreams. It's interesting because as I was talking with my wife, she has been saying that her dreams are becoming much more real, much more livid. And it's interesting because one of the things they say that when you start studying these angels is that your dreams become much more active now. And I contend that if you're active in the dreamscape, then you already have a connection into that next realm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do think the angels make the dreams more lucid, because when you acknowledge them and you invite them into your consciousness, now it's like you have a new friend, because now the connection is a two-way. It's not just them trying to help you when and where they can. Now they actually have a relationship with you, so they can send you inspiration like bam right now. They can influence your dream time. They can do so many things because you are open to that now. You're able to receive the frequencies that you were blocked from before because you had no conscious awareness of the laws of no interference. So we know that's something we needed to understand. The law of non-interference. Darkness doesn't play by the rules, but benevolence does. So the law of non-interference is a very important law, because they say that that's what puts these really dark beings with the karma stuff. It's the karma stuff. It's because they have to be dealt with the harm they chose or whatever. But it's so twisted, so many levels, and so many, like I said, humans and demons and angels, they're all different species. And then you've got the other different species. All rules are different between species.
And I'm on the record for saying this over 2 years ago when it was shown to me, not all humans have the same spirit or the same soul inside.
Gosh, you are so right, Wayne. So right with that. And that's what I mean. Everybody's like, they want these rules that go one way. It's like, it doesn't go one way. There's too many variables in this situation here. We've got different types of species running around in human bodies. So
bingo. And that's why I think with Einstein, you never could find a unified theory. It's because, wow, come to think about this, because, I was talking yesterday about Nimrod on Friday, and the fact that, the thing about Nimrod in that time is the last recorded, any recordings we have of where humanity was unified. Mm-hmm. And I keep thinking, I said, okay, could this be because number one, they were all of the same spiritual nature or origin? Two, when the confusion of the tongues came in and this was an attack on humanity, my question was there something else? Because how do you change a person's language? If that's all you know, would you not have to have a whole spiritual wipe?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I saw that happened. That's what
So
I
think
saw.
about, how do they do this? I mean, I don't believe that, we saw this big, who knows? I mean,
No, Wayne, I saw it was with that.
It's amazing how these things can begin to come
I
around.
said, we've seen this before. This has happened before, and it was really bad.
I'm going to be the first one to announce this to the world. Tune in Thursday night. There is something coming to America that we haven't seen since World War II. Hear me on this, folks.
Ooh.
And this is going to get ugly. Rationing cards are coming, and they're going to be conditional. That's all I'm going to say to that. Yep. And I'll speak more on the Thursday night show. But be prepared, ladies and gentlemen. If you live in the United States, you need to start preparing now. I am the first one to announce this. My source is 100% solid in Washington, D.C. This is coming, ladies and gentlemen. So let us move right on along.
Yep.
Because now the algorithm knows that I know, and now that many other people know.
Yeah. So. Well, like I said, I've seen this before. So this is, like I said, yeah.
Now a little bit of no, that's not food stamps. Nope. No. They're going to do away with the entire system, ladies and gentlemen. You're not understanding this.
Yeah. This is bigger than you can imagine. I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's bigger than you can imagine.
Yeah.
It goes right in line with scripture, right in alignment with scripture.
We just got the interpretation wrong, because the ones that were interpreting it, that was what they were wanting to do. So the angel for the day, by the way, is Nithael, Nithael. This is the angel of rejuvenation and eternal youth. This is the patron of visual arts, aesthetic artists, writers, painters, sculptors, musicians, singers, famous people. Occupation related to beauty, health, nutrition, and sports. Brings beauty, grace, and a good reputation. Bestows us with youngness of both body and mind. Helps to remedy illness. Allows us to face failure, conflict, insidious plotting challenges, with ambitions and power balances. Guarantees us a long and happy life. Symbol of elegance, magnificence, refinement, beauty. Can bring fame and notoriety into our lives. Teaches frankness and hospitality to all other people. Provides with harmony, allowing your body and soul to unite. Brings his help and support in anything related to inheritance. Wow.
Very beautiful.
Yes, I love this angel. Protects from all kinds of instability, accidents, and disasters. Restores good memories from childhood. Wakes the inner child in us and allows us to feel young and playful again.
I love that angel.
Oh, man. Heals emotional scars from childhood and emotional dependence. Cures excessive attachment to the external beauty and appearance. Heals blind ambition and fear of growing old. Helps in situations like beauty and sexual problems, eating-related diseases, health, and emotional issues. Yeah.
What a powerful, beautiful healer.
Woo!
Wow.
And the best time to reach this angel is at 5:40 to 5:59 p.m.
Ooh.
And its date, the best time to contact this angel is October 11th.
Wow, that's 11/11.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I love this.
It's 10/11, 1011. Yeah. Wow.
But
I just heard that's the binary code start system for that angel. Wow.
You see, there is so much here. So I really do identify with these beings. Now, to another person, this would seem like total rubbish. It's nonsense, Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I talked to one guy and he says, when I die, that's it. Mm-hmm. And I said, so I said, you don't believe in an afterlife or anything? He says, listen, the way I look at it, and he says, everything I have seen in this life, he says, I haven't seen any evidence of anything after. And he said, if there is, it's a bonus. But he says, when I am going, he says, I figure it's lights out. He says, I won't have any memory, so I won't have any memory of loss. I went, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say to that?
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
I just say, I just hope that works out for you.
yeah, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
I just had to, I shook his hand. I said, you
Yeah.
know, that's cool because that's his path.
Yeah.
And I said, I hope maybe to
Mhm.
see you on the other end. He said, well, particularly, he says, I really don't know you. So he said, I wouldn't care if I saw you or not.
Right.
I went, I like this person. This person
I
was
was gonna
straightforward,
say,
honest, you know?
yeah, he sounds
You
like,
know?
yeah, like totally like, yeah, that's very, yeah. He's okay with himself, and he will wake up and he won't be dead. But he said that'll just be a bonus. He'll be like, right on, bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's I don't know. Is it kind of that thing that, you know, you're planning for the worst and yeah, maybe the best might happen, you know?
Yeah,
Like, okay. Yeah.
that might be exactly what his mindset is, Wayne. I
Hey,
think you've nailed it. I really do. I think you just identified his mindset. Mm-hmm.
and like I said, I had a lot of respect for the dude. I mean,
Yeah.
it's it's not it's
Hey,
better
sirrah,
than
sirrah. Whatever it will be, will be.
ain't it so? Ain't it so?
Yeah.
Let's see. Monkey Experience says they're trying to stop the conscious evolution of the species so they can maintain control for centuries. Monkey,
Yes.
I would go further than that. I would say millennia, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Touche. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But yeah, absolutely. That's what they're doing. That's exact.
Brian, 1958. How you doing, brother? Some people cannot handle passing over. Yeah, I think that there is, you know, and it's odd because as I'm studying this, the thing about demons is that this is normal to them.
Yeah.
We turn it as, you know, because the way religion and everything is done, and we love being scared because scared
Mhm.
releases those endorphins, you know. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, intense relationships have been because of intense fear shared by individuals.
Yes.
There's a bonding there, you know?
Yes, and I think there is, we do. That's the warrior in us. We like the excitement. We like the challenge. I mean, many of us, there's a lot of adrenaline junkies on this planet. So,
And, you know, my point was getting to it. I think that there are some people who are truly just bound to this realm.
yeah,
I know that sounds weird, but it's like this is where they want to be. They don't want to go anywhere else.
no, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. For many, Wayne, think about it. This might actually be their home planet if they're newer. You know what I mean? If they're a newer creation, because creation's always creating. I don't think there's a set number of anything. It's always expanding and collapsing. It's always going through involution, evolution. So it's going in and out, in and out. So the numbers go in and out, in and
It's
out.
like the order of the heart.
Yes, just like that.
Yeah,
That's exactly like it. Yes, I think yes.
Hey,
That's
Mary
beautiful analogy, Wayne. So yeah, it's lots of potentials, guys. Lots of potentials.
And I think that as we begin to expand our number one, the acceptance that there are greater spirits beyond this out here, that I didn't come into existence on June 19th, you know, at 1:29 a.m. in the morning. I was already a being. And it's interesting because now I'm striving to reactivate as who was the friend I had on with the Akashic record, and who was that?
I just lost it too. Just blitzed my brain.
Yeah. I know who she is. I can see her face, but it's interesting because she did say something about, you know, the fact that when you really become activated and you now realize that the birthing process was not just something that just, you know, then you came into existence. There was a you.
I remember before I came in here. So I'm so glad I have that memory because it's confirmation. It helps keep me to knowing that I'm more than just my human body, because I remember existing in a human body before I came into this human body, and I was going from the higher dimension into the earth realm, bouncing back and forth until I got stuck in the body by the Lord, who slammed a door on the top of my head. So see, I stuck in a trap.
Reminds me of James. You were on the submarine. They closed the hatch on you.
Yes, and that's what happened. And that's true. And that, to me, the submarine, coming out of the submarine, that's coming out of the subconscious mind. And that's where all the wisdom is. And that's where 95% of your operating system that you're doing autonomically, that's all where all those programs are in, is in that subconscious mind. So trying to come out of the subconscious mind and they're slamming the door shut, that means they don't want you to bring the wisdom from that subconscious into the light, into your conscious mind, because it's powerful. So keep trying to get out of that submarine.
All right. Let's see. Hey, Jenny, why don't you get on and listen? I want to know what's going on over there. Much love to you, dear. Robert V. There's so many good people in the house.
We
here,
love you guys.
Yeah. And Teresa, I saw you got tomorrow night over on the
Andromeda 7 Celestial Gateway.
Yes. Connecting with the divine self. Is that right?
I think so.
Is that what I saw?
Yep. Okay. I think that's the one.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We had to move some stuff around, but yeah. I think that's right.
James says, I did get out of the submarine and was looking around it from the shore. Way to go, buddy. Well,
Excellent.
There you go.
Excellent.
Yeah. I love that. And apparently Martin and Heidi are saying that they're messing with the video in here. Well, that doesn't surprise me. The thing about YouTube, they've done everything they can to unsubscribe people and then undo the notification and doing everything they can to block, but we're still here. Yeah.
Thank goodness. Yes, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
What did I want to give me 1 second?
Absolutely.
Do you remember birth? Only no, I came out and the rest stayed. Yeah. A lot of people have memories of their birth.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't remember being born. I remember being out of my body, and then I must have been born already but I wasn't in my body yet, because I kept going back and forth, and I finally got stuck and I couldn't get out. But my mom was praying for me not to die. I was a baby in the hospital, but I was born 2 months early, so I wasn't breathing and all that stuff. So they took me away from my mom. So she hadn't seen me for 3 days. She was convinced I was dead. So she was praying and praying and praying and praying. Why won't you let me see her? Why won't you let me see her? They're like, she's in the incubator. She's in ICU, and they would not let her see me. So she thought I was dead, and they were just messing around with her. So she thought, because they would not let her see me. So that's when she was praying. So I was obviously already, my body was born, but I was still bouncing back and forth. So I don't remember.
We're glad you made it in. I mean, the earliest memories, Lynn and I were talking about this, as I said, I remember, and she thought, well, this is really interesting because newborns, they think you can see. I mean, that's the most amazing thing. Many other species takes a while for actually to developing the cornea, et cetera. But for humans, we come out and we see. And I said, what I remember was this bright light. And isn't it interesting that in the birth, you have the bright light? Yes. And in death, we're talking about the bright light. There's a correlation in this, folks. And
you got that right, Wayne.
I'm just saying, I may not be the sharpest tack, but and I remember this this green tile, and I remember the tile, and it's interesting. It seemed to go up as far as I could see. Years later, I learned that the hospital that I was born in, Lynn worked at. And they hadn't changed the birthing rooms since I was born in 55. And she said, so tell me, what did you remember? And I said, I just remember the bright light, but I said, I could see past the bright light. And I said, it looked like this square tile, and it was kind of a darker green. And she says, that's exactly what the birthing rooms look like.
Exactly. That's amazing.
Exactly.
That is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But remember,
yeah,
Wayne, too, I said it felt like coming into here, the crushing, the pain was so bad, I couldn't even handle it. I wonder if that was my mom giving birth to me.
I think it may have been because, as medical science have proven, you can't be born twice. It'll kill you.
It was bad. And
It was.
maybe that's why I kept going in and out of my body, because it was bad and my mom wasn't supposed to be having me. So, there were complications. It was just a bad deal.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Yeah. I wonder that sometimes. I'm like, I don't
Lynn
know.
said she was 2 months early, Lynn Earthling, and wanted to leave again several times, and it felt like ice rain to me. It's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. We are born genius. We learn from birth to 5, and then the system takes charge. And then we become,
Yeah.
do you know the average IQ is now below 100?
Gosh, that's so sad.
99 is the
Wow.
average IQ. Folks,
Wow.
that's well, Miss Trina, that was an hour that went like that,
I don't like that, Wayne. It goes too fast. I'm like, no, seriously.
This was a lot of fun. This was
Yes.
yeah, never
Yes.
a dull moment in the chat room.
No
Well,
way.
Teresa, I can only hope. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time there, but Jack Genius,
I
yeah.
watch all the chat every show after, guys. So I love you all, and all of you who say hello to me, and you guys just are, you sometimes, most days I'm in tears when I watch your chat, Wayne. So thank you guys. I love you all so much, so much. And I do read every single comment. I really do. So just know I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone said Jack Dreamy said I was born with forceps, and I can remember that.
Oh, wow.
That imagine that probably hurt like hell.
I was going to say, ouch.
I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, I know.
Here we go again. And see, kids in school think chicken comes from shops. That's Jenny. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Yeah. Well, and I just want to echo Trina's sentiments as well. I thank all of you. This is a dynamic group. We love all of you, even the ones who gives us the thumbs down. We love you too.
Yes.
You're entitled to your beliefs, and we support that.
Absolutely.
And just let us all drink some tea and say, I love you. Group hug. There we go.
Absolutely. Oh, I love you.
We're gonna have to bring back our teddy bear on this one. So everyone, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Trina, you're going to be on Friday night or Saturday night? So.
I'm going to maybe try Wednesday. It depends on work, though. Like I said, we're still in the winter schedule, so it's kind of hard for me to get home most times.
Okay.
But Saturday for sure, because that's an hour later, and I'm not usually, hopefully, working on that day. I do a lot, but yeah. So Saturday for sure, but I'm going to shoot for Wednesday, so I'm going to try.
Yeah. I love some of the comments. Y'all are intelligent people.
We love you. No, they really are.
They are. They really are. I mean, this is a sharp group, man. I'm telling you, it's all the same. Well, Ms. Trina, thank you. It's always a joy, just an absolute pleasure to have you on each week. And I just thank you.
Joy to be with you.
Yeah,
always.
And,
folks, I love the way we ping off each other. It's fascinating. And
hey,
guys,
you know what? You really have to keep up in this conversation. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely.
If you snooze, you're going to go like, well, what happened?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Some of the newcomers, I feel bad. I'm like, because we've been together for a while. So, we kind of know each other's language now. So
just, and it's natural. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
What did Gilbert O'Sullivan? Naturally. Although that's a really depressing song,
right?
It's about I think it's about suicide.
I keep hearing that song. We got to get back to the garden.
Oh, Joni Mitchell, Woodstock. Yeah.
Woodstock. Yeah. I keep hearing that song over and over again. They keep telling me we got to.
You want to know a little story behind that song?
Yeah.
So Joni Mitchell lived right there in Laurel Canyon with Jackson Browne and Crosby, Stills, and all the group there, the Mamas and the Papas. Janis Joplin was there. So they all got invited to Woodstock. She didn't. So she was crying because here was this big festival. She was hearing about it, and that's when she wrote the song. It was in the moment of her
Wow.
sadness that she wrote the song about Woodstock.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is awesome.
And Joni Mitchell, she was this very insecure woman, and when I saw her comments on that, I just started kind of crying myself because,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. And then she ended up writing a song that Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, made very famous. And
Oh,
by the way,
yes.
here's the interesting thing. David Crosby and Graham Nash didn't know how to play an instrument. It was Stephen Stills who wrote all the lyrics and the music for the first album.
Wow.
There's a little trivia for him. He did it
Wow.
primarily in one night too. That's what was amazing.
That's channeled information.
That's exactly it. Van Morrison
Boy,
said the same thing.
absolutely. Absolutely. When it comes in that fast and that hard and it's complete, it's
Yep.
channeled.
All right, folks. Much love to y'all. We'll see you tomorrow, and we're heading off to the garden. That's where we're going.
I love it. I